Hi, Soumya. Soumya, can you put one message into the group so that student can join to the WAT practice?
Sorry, sir.
Can you put one message into the group so that the student can join for the WAT practice?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, yeah, let me see how many people are there so that they can join us and it will be very handy for, yeah. Khyati Yadav has also joined to the session. Thank you so much, guys, for joining to the session. We'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Hope that will start out the session. Let me see how many people can join us, right? We'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes so that the student can join us and it will be very handy for us to solve it out. 1 minute more, guys. Suppose that will start out. Uh, Soumya, Khati, is my screen visible to you?
No, sir.
Okay, just a second. Start joining for that session. Okay, we'll start the session because it is in need of the hour. Soumya, can you tell me, is my screen visible to you? Okay, perfect.
Yes, yes.
Yes, perfect, great. So, guys, thank you so much for joining to the session. First of all, we'll discuss about why VAT is very important. Since you guys are getting into MBA and you guys are aiming for top B schools of the country, right? So let me ask you a simple question. How many of you have prepared 100 plus interview transcripts, but have you written 5 plus VAT answers under time pressure? Anyone? Khyati, iPhone, Aditya, have you written 5 VAT practices?
No, sir.
Okay. So, guys, that's the reality, right? Students prepare for GD, they prepare for personal interviews, but when it comes to VAT, they think they think that it's a 20-minute practice. How tough can it be? But let me tell you the reality, guys. VAT is one of the filter which eliminates the candidate, and it does in a silent way. Before your personality speaks to the interviewer, before your communication shines in front of the interviewer, before your confidence comes in front of the interviewer, your thinking of paper is violated, right? And that's why we are going to discuss more about how to master VAT practice. Understood? Okay, let's discuss about VAT practice. Just a second, let me go to perfect. Next slide. Yeah. So if you look at VAT, right? Why VAT is conducted and how? Can anyone tell me from group of 5 to 10 people why written ability test matters? Right? Anyone? Atacha, Khyati, iPhone. Why VAT matters? VAT is a written ability test. So anyone? iPhone, you wanted to say something? Okay, no worries. Let me tell you. It is not an English test. It's more about structured thinking. How you think in a critical and under pressure, because they are making you ready when it comes to corporate. One in three candidates get a convert if they are writing WAT. One in five candidates get a convert if they are writing for B schools. So WAT matters a lot, and how you write that WAT matters more than that, right? And nowadays, the WAT was not a practice which used to happen 5 to 10 years ago, right? But B schools have started coming and putting this practice just to understand how to think critically, right? So you'll be given a topic where you will be given 15 to 20 minutes, and you need to write WAT for 250 to 300 words. No internet is allowed while writing the WAT practice. No discussion is allowed. No correction will happen again. One time practice, and you have to you have to put your best perspective into the WAT practice. And if you look at the WAT that is present there, they will judge you according to your clarity of thought, your structure, what kind of analysis that you do regarding the topic. Do you have the right awareness of the topic? If the topic is given, can you talk about pros, cons, whether you have that ability to balance the argument? And most importantly, your basic English grammar and your articulation, right? They don't check your handwriting or your vocabulary, whether you write Polish vocabulary, whether you put a fancy words. No, they just check your structured thinking. So most importantly, WAT is not about writing English. It's about how you think under pressure. Understood, guys? Okay. So let me discuss more about it. If you look at the top IIMs, A, B, C, L, K, X, L, I, 10% weightage of IIM Ahmedabad goes to VAT, where you are going to put your argument. You are discussing more about the assumptions which are present there, right? And then you have to tell about how you are going to put the assumptions, and are these assumptions correct or not. Whenever this topic is given to you, make sure that you are going to discuss more about a stance. You should have a strong stance when it comes to ad practice. When it comes to I am Bangalore is mainly focuses on different types of policies, what kind of social impact that it create on the people, do you have that structural understanding of the topic or not. If you look at the third IIM, which is Lucknow, 10% weightage goes to ad practice. And most number of times they will focus on current affairs. They will check on your knowledge. Do you have the right knowledge to crack the or to appear for the interview, right? So make sure that whenever you are going for VAT practice, read read as much as you can possible. I have seen students don't read it out. No, you have to read different genres. Let's say, if you get a chance to read more about marketing, finance, operation, HR, product management, consulting, data science, try to read about different domains so that your broaden of thinking will increase. When it comes to I am
Sir,
Kuzigo, yeah.
I'm so sorry to interrupt here.
Mhm.
I understand the importance of reading, but the thing is that now, do we have enough time left to start reading? And I understand it's absolutely crucial to build our knowledge on these domains, because at the end, then only we'll be able to write. But what are some other ways? Because we have very limited time now, just like a week or 5, 6 days at max. So should there be other ways that maybe we can compensate with? Anything you would suggest?
Okay. I think this is kind of a important question that you asked me, right? See, whenever you think that I'm having limited time, right? Make sure that you have enough time to prepare for that. Because I have seen students with 3 to 4. See, some of the things which will be asked in VAT practices won't come you directly, right? VAT is not about knowing everything. It is more about in that situation, whatever you had experiences in this 20 to 25 years of, right? Do you have that ability to think clearly, and can you write structurally? Understood? So what you can do better is, since you told me that you're having only 5 to 1 week, take editorials, take different types of basic books or industry publications. If you start reading 5 to 10 pages daily, you can understand in 5 days you'll be having a vocabulary of 30 pages. Now it's just that you have to build on it. I know that time is less, but what you can do better is, I'll tell you some things that you should definitely focus on when it comes to technology. Re- Let you can also note it down the topic so that you can go through the topic very well and you can read more about it. So whenever technology comes into picture, they will ask you regarding AI, automation, data privacy, cybersecurity. Go through these 4 topics. You will have a great understanding about how you can prepare better when it comes to bad practices. Second thing is economy. Whenever you are going for interviews, prepare more about Indian economy, right? Inflation, startup ecosystem, India's growth story, India's AI summit, how India look towards economical side of the world, how world looks towards India as a new gamer, like I would say, new player in the market whose economy is booming a lot. So these are the topics that you should prepare. Third thing is social issues, mental health, social media, gender equality, inequality. These are the 4 or 5 topics that you should definitely prepare. And when it comes to geopolitics, nowadays, India European trade, China plus one policy, Iran crisis, then the supply chain that is happening there, the global trade, Brexit, how Brexit are creating impact on global trade, the energy crisis which is happening worldwide, right? You should definitely read about these topics. These topics will give you amazing clarity. And see, you guys have chat GPT. What you can do better is just put out the topics which I told you, read more about it. You don't have to go here and there. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Uh, yes. So, guys, let me tell you something, right? We were on I am Cozy Code. Almost 10 to 15% of the weight goes to I am Cozy Code's VAT. The focus is on your creativity, critical thinking, and here what matters is the topics are very dynamic. So you have to mold yourself towards the topic. Let's say there was one topic who came into discussion is socialism versus jingoism. Now I'm quite sure that 99% of the people who are present there are not aware of what is jingoism, right? So what you can do better is, if you know about socialism, read more about it, talk more about it, and write more about it. Jingoism, you have to somehow connect the dot, the personal experiences that you had in life, and then you have to build on it. Now, when it comes to XRI, they have their own essay. You have to write that essay, almost of 500 word characters, and then that essay. See, thousands of uh, amazing stories, the amazing people at corporate top level of the corporate pyramid, or I would say the top pyramid of the table when it comes to corporate, have gone through that B school, and that their stories are written in terms of bad practices. So it matters a lot. Now let's talk about what evaluators are looking for. Let's say I'm an evaluator. What I look for is, I will definitely look for a person who has a strong understanding of the topic, right? Because now I'm that side of the world where I'm teaching you. So guys, I have seen it, how you build your structure. Do you have the right mindset to think critically? That matters a lot. And these practices are made up to check your critical thinking. Let me give you a real life example. Whenever I work in corporate, in my team itself, whenever any task that is given to you, it's my responsibility to do the task. But my as a manager, my job role is to tell to the people that, hey guys, please complete the task so that it will be very handy for us to give the report to my manager. Now, whenever I'm giving any practice to someone, I check whether this person has critical thinking or not, whether this person can use his brain or not, right? And the arguments that you are writing in bad practices. Let's say nowadays Jim Goa is conducting bad practice, 300 words that they are giving, and 25 to 20 to 25 minutes that they're giving to you. IRMA is also conduct IRMA VAT. Their VAT practice is totally different from Gym Goa. So once the practice is given, the topic is given, are the arguments logically flowing from point A to point B matters a lot, right? When you're born, then you learn the art of communication, speaking, then you go get into school. Post that, you get into college, and then you realize that MBA is proper bit for me to pursue my career. So this is how hierarchy work. So you connect a dot of A to B, B to C. So same collection matters when it comes to bad practices of top B schools. And you need to structure your thoughts clearly. Random thoughts would be coming to your mind. आपको decide करना है कि am I going to put it into first paragraph or second paragraph or third paragraph, right? And that perfection has to be there once you write to add practices. So what you can do is, what I used to do during my time, I'll tell you. Every day before getting into office, I used to write two add practices. And after coming to office, I used to set a timer for 11 minutes. 11 minutes, used to write one word practice. So three word practices I used to write every day, so that I followed it for almost 3 weeks, around 20 days, 60 topics I covered. And I was very confident when it comes to writing the word practice, because I used to mold, I used to check out that, okay, I'm starting with artificial intelligence. If the topic is given AI, boon or bane. So initially I used to write very random thoughts. Then I read more about it. I used to give the same topic to YouTube and Google, and I used to search more about artificial intelligence. I used to think about how AI plays a very important role when it comes to different industries, right? So you have to think in the same way, that how I can find out the applications of each and every topic that is given there. Second thing is depth and knowledge matters a lot. Are you providing data, fact, figure, numbers, examples, frameworks? They matter a lot. If you are using any framework, and is this framework suits to the profile, suits the topic, always give instances, always give frameworks, because that builds more credibility of it yours. Let me tell you one framework. If the social topic is there, which is gender inequality, so you need to use pestle framework: political, economical, social, technological, ecological. You need to put yourself into the shoes of a person. Let's say you are a policymaker. What and how do you think about the gender inequality? If you are a tech person, so you have to write about what kind of practices that happen in corporate. If you are a environmentally friendly person, so that is a different aspect, right? So you have to always use framework at the right time and right place. And whenever you are putting your opinions, don't put so superficial opinions, right? Always have a normal thoughts which gives some value, and that value has to be understood by the interviewer or the panel which is present there. Try to provide the value. You can write three paragraphs. First paragraph is body, ma- second paragraph is structure, and what do you think about the topic, pros, cons. Third paragraph is more about conclusion, right? Now students asking me that, bhaiya, should I use vocabulary, right? You can definitely use vocabulary, but it should not be very much complex. If the vocabulary is complex, the message won't be reaching to the interviewer. And if it is reach to the mentor or the panelist, sometimes the thoughts are not matching with the topics that are given there. So try to write in a way that, I also think that the person who is sitting in front of you is 10-year-old child. He doesn't know about the topic, and you are explaining him. So you have to follow this practice whenever you are going for VAT practice. Now, students are asking me, भैया कुछ strategies बताओ, what kind of strategies that I should follow when it comes to VAT practice, right? So if the topic is given to you, right? So evaluator which is present there, he will be checking, and he will be evaluating 50 to 60 VAT practices in a day, right? वो आपका check नहीं करता है, वो there are so many people, he'll check it out, right? So the topic and the name of the VAT practice has to be concurrent. It has to give some direction and vision to the topic. You can use pestle framework here. Topic is given there, and put your stance in a firm way. that this is what I think, or explain about artificial. Let's say you are talking about artificial intelligence. Talk about artificial intelligence, a branch of computer science that deals with this. Machine learning is a part of artificial intelligence where machine learn from past data and they make predictions. Now you are not about artificial intelligence. Now in the second paragraph, you have to discuss about boon or bane. See, I am telling you in very short period of time because the time crunch is very low. Within 40 minutes, I need to conclude it. Second thing is, now you are done with the understanding of your topic. So you have to divide the time also. 0 to 3 minutes that will be given to you. You need to think about it and you need to build that structure that, okay, this is how I'm going to write about it. Post that in the upcoming 14 minutes, right? 4 minutes to 18 minutes, which is 14 minutes. You have to write. Here, you have to think about how you are reducing the spelling mistakes. Do you have the sentence clarity or not? Are you missing the conclusion? Are you repeating the same words again and again? Repetition is not allowed in web practices. You can definitely change it, right? If there are any corrections that you wanted to make after every 35 seconds, just go to the back part of it. Whatever you are written, is the sentence is correct? Is the sentence is a rhetorical word or rhetorical phrase? How I used active or passive voice? Because see, when you use a passive or active voice, it builds some structure on it, and then you can write the bad practice on it. Now 14 minutes you are putting out when it comes to writing that word. Next thing that matters is how you are fixing the grammar. Most of the students don't fix the grammar. They'll think that at the end of the word practice, I'll fix the grammar. When once the 2 to 3 minutes are remaining, then they start reading about the topic. Don't do this kind of mistake, right? This is not a regular industry practice that you should follow. What you can do better is check it out, or make sure that your writing is amazing. There are so many tools which are present there. Go to that writing tools and start writing 2 or 3 days before the word practice. So what happens? You'll be able to build that grip, right? Because I worked in industry, I already had the grip. Within one go, I used to type it out. But there are some folks who are not familiar with technical tools. So build that grip and then try to write. And again, the tools that are present there, they will again teach you that how you can write better. Because they will be a duration of 2.5 minutes. And in that 2.5 minutes, you need to write about the topic. Here you will understand that, okay, in 2.5 minutes, I need to write as much as possible with logical flow, with logical structure, with adding data, fact, figure, numbers, right? And once you do this kind of practices for 15 to 20 times, there was one girl who asked me that, hey, sir, I'm having very less time. For that person, yes, go through the VAT practices. You will get amazing understanding about how the things work, right? And most importantly, at the end of it, conclusion. How are you concluding on a positive tone? Are you concluding or are you giving some amazing opinion? That matters a lot. So if I overall look at the word practice, your structured thinking, how you paragraph your answers and thoughts. Some of the students start writing things without making paragraphs. So you have to separate the paragraphs that are present there. The tone has to be balanced. Clear conclusion has to be there from your side, right? If in conclusion, if you are putting a controversial opinion, first of all, don't make it. Second thing is, if pros are more than cons, then try to have that one-sided opinion. But make sure that whenever you're writing about practice, balanced view is always taken into consideration. And this is what panelists want. Next of it, real life examples matter a lot. If you had any real life examples, or if you have seen this example in TV, or if you have experienced it, you'll better relate the topic. These are the do's of it. Now, don'ts. Let me tell you something about it. Don't put any extreme opinion. I see so many students use extreme words. Never, always. Don't use these words. Second thing is, don't use this chat. I would say WhatsApp language, or some of the students who are Gen Zs, they are using. This is a vibe that I was checking on math practice. There was a person who has written just like a Gen Z slang. No, man, you are in a professional environment. It is very important that, see, bad practice also helps you out to write the emails which you are going to write when it comes to corporate. So you have to be little bit professional, and don't add any quotes. You can definitely add normal quotes, but there are some folks who write and who overuse the quotes. You can start with the quote given by Mahatma Gandhi, Baba Sahib Ambedkar, or the social reformers present there, or the authors, or the novelists which are present there. So that what happens, it builds credibility of yourself. And don't memorize any template that this is how I wanted to start it. Right? Sometimes you need to change a stance. You need to understand that how you can change the stance. Understood, guys? Okay. Pastel framework. Students are asking me, Bhaiya, batao frameworks. Right? So pastel framework is one of the framework that matters a lot whenever you are talking about socio-economic topics. Whatever issue, see, many times the topic would be merely related to issue. So you have to understand that I have come up with some topics. PES, space means political, economic, social. In politically, if the topic is related to government policy or geopolitics, use political point of view. If the topic is GDP, inflation, jobs, it means that you that point has to trigger into your mind कि GDP आ गया, jobs के बारे में बताना है. I should definitely think and I should definitely use Pestel framework. Then the gender equality, importance of education, is MBA dying or not? This is a social topic, right? And that point, that trigger has to come to you in your mind. Now you guys are going to become managers, so build that critical thinking as soon as possible. When it comes to technology, legal, environmental, I have given the topic list, which is AI, innovation, legal. Many times, lawmakers, what lawmakers think in a situation when it comes to different policies, laws, rights, people right, human rights. So you should have a strong understanding regarding it. And lastly, ESG, environmental, social governance. So as a responsible manager, it is your responsibility to take care of environment, and the topics will definitely come. And there are so many electives that will be taught to you in MBA when it comes to environment. So sustainability and climate related topic you need to focus it out. Next thing is burger method, right? So burger method is a interesting method. How many of you are familiar with this burger method? Anyone? Girisha, Manish Agarwala? Okay, no one is familiar. Okay. So burger method, in that you have to add hooks. The top bun means intro. जो बर्गर होता है ना, वहां से आप ऊपर से खाना स्टार्ट कर देते हो, नीचे उसकी बॉडी होती है जिसमें चीज एंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स विल बी देयर. जस्ट लाइक दिस हियर, whenever you are starting any VAT, start with quote which is governed by social reformer or technologist or author, and it has to backed up by statistics. And then you have to put your perspective that okay, uh, take any quote which is made by any minister or any person who has made a lot of impact on the people's life, and then you have to mention about the person who has made that remark. Second part is body. In body you can use different framework: para framework, 3C framework, pestle framework, right? And then you have to give up the examples. If you wanted to give a opposing view to the topic, that is fine, but it should be in a professional sense. Don't just oppose the topic because it is given. And the bottom side of it, which is conclusion, whenever you are putting any opinion, should be in an optimistic tone. Some of the student, most of the students write in pessimistic tone. It is not allowed. Never introduce any topic at the part of conclusion. This is what students do when it comes to GD. But when it comes to bad practice also, whatever you have made, whatever you have put your perspective, you have to build on it and you have to add this perspective, and then you have to conclude it. Now, some of the students ask me, Bhaiya, how should I go through the abstract topics? Let's say raid, zero, or sound of silence. So if you look at this topic, you'll feel that how and what can I write about this topic, right? So let's say I'll ask some questions to you. If the topic is given black versus white, let me ask Kushagra, what do you think? You are writing and you are going for VAT practice. What comes to your mind when it comes to the topic of black versus white?
Black, sir, black versus
White.
white. Sir, it is a abstract topic. We can say black means shady dark world, white means uh like light means white means light as in good things. I can say it like that.
Okay, but you can also portray it in terms of examples, or you can also give a example of uh, how India was there, which was a black picture of our technology world, or black picture of our India's culture. Now, if you look at technology and the revolution that happened after 1947, which is a white picture, glory picture of India, right? So this is how you should think about it, Kushagra.
Sir,
Yes,
can we connect?
yes.
Sir, can we connect the corruption and all to this black and white?
You can definitely talk about it, but you need to understand that whenever you are mentioning corruption, right, there are cons of it. You also know, me also know, but you also have to talk about pros of it, right? Now, I'll tell you, when the black money was curbed, so many people who had the black money in their plate, and
Yes.
yes, just because of these people, government was able to save so much money, right? Which was curbed black, and they were able to identify the traitors who has put the black money in their pocket, right? So you need to also talk about the positive sense of about it. Understood, Harish?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me give you
Sir,
another top.
can't we say something like, can we associate it black to something negative in the life
Of
and
course,
white to positives in life
yeah,
and
that
then give examples?
of course you can definitely add into it, because let me tell you a basic example. I told the pre era before 1947, post era. Pre era was black because there was no technology, there was no facilities, right? And people were invited communally. But after 1947, if you see at the current life, we are having each and everything. Understood? So this is what you need to think about it, and this is what you need to write about it. You can also give a personal instances where you failed in life, which was a black picture. Now you are getting into MBA, which is a white rosy picture of your career.
Right,
So
sir,
here,
got it.
can we also include like black versus white in the context of racism, or would that be too much straying away from the
No, no,
topic?
that won't be a problem. See, whenever topic that will be given, don't think like it is a controversial topic, and I won't put my point of view. Never do this.
Hmm.
If you put this kind of topics, it gives a extra age, because very few people had the ability to write on this kind of topics, right?
As the topic is black and white and not black versus white, so can we also say about the like how they are intermingled and positive side of it? Like where is the portion with the जहाँ पे white है वहाँ black भी है and all that.
So you have to connect the dots. That's what I'm saying, right? Whenever topic that will be given, you have to give references that where you have used this reference as black and white, and how you are putting yourself to the panel,
Okay, got it.
right? So let me complete this, and last 4 5 minutes I'll also give the time to you so that you can discuss more about it. So whenever abstract topic that will be given to you, maybe about philosophy, read more about literal, read more about business economy, because these are the topics that will become mostly coming from these topics. Let's say philosophy, right? In philosophy you might have gone through the cat. There are so many philosophical passages that come, so you should know more about philosophy. Metaphor kya hota hai, how you can use metaphor in life. When it comes to they will definitely ask you and give you some set of things which is merely related to economics. The economic times padna which abhi let's say if you read economic times 10 minutes or 15 minutes daily for 5 days, you'll definitely learn something out of it, right? Now, stones, what are the stones do when it comes to mistakes and cons of it? Let me discuss about it. So, whenever you are going for bad practice, Don't put any political opinion or hate speech. Don't use too many jargons if you're not aware of it. Don't see, even in the speaking, I have seen it. People use fluent and aggressive communication. But if you look at the top leaders at corporate, I had been in touch with them. I had called them, and I had, daily connection with them. When I look at them, they use a simple basic English. What matters is how you convey your thought, right? Understood, right? Third thing is SMS type of language won't be taken into consideration, and don't sit idle if the topic is given to you. Try to think within 2 to 3 minutes and you start writing on it. Must do things is subject verb agreement is important. Simple language is taken into consideration. If you are able to portray your thought in a better way, try to comprehend it. सोचो कि if I was in place of the mentor or the panelist, how I can think about it, how I can evolve the person, and you have to write in the same sense. And whenever you are writing any fact figure, talk about source. Okay. So 3 minutes are remaining. Let me take questions, guys. You can ask question one by one. Yeah.
So the major problem that happens with me is on this last point that you have mentioned, that sit idle and wait for the perfect start. Because the moment I see a topic, if I am not very, like if I have, I just go blank in the very beginning of the first 2 minutes, and then I remember that I have to start writing. So I think on these pestle areas that okay, P may I can write this and write this, but then when it comes to writing the points down, because I have this thing that I think in bullet points, so converting those bullet points and then putting them down on paper and ensuring that it is not too jargony, that is the problem that I'm facing. Because when I write the first sentence, I realize that in my introduction I have included so much type of vocabulary and everything, but I have not conveyed the essence that I wanted to convey.
I
So
totally, yeah, I totally understand
that is.
your sense. Let me tell you one thing. So what you can do is from tomorrow onwards, early in the morning, start writing two bad practices, set a timer for 10 minutes, and in the evening, write two bad practices and set a timer for 15 minutes. And just the topic. Take four verticals: technology, marketing, business communication, and fourth one is finance. Take four verticals, take four topics. You'll get the topics from a Google itself, or if you want topics, I can also share. Just write it. And once you write on it, measure what are the changes or what are the mistakes that you are doing. Until unless you'll write it on your own, you won't get the idea. And you have to think in the sense that, hey, time is running out. I need to write something. Once you write 4 to 5 at practice, you will understand what are the mistakes that you are making it out. Right. Second thing is, if you wanted to build knowledge, a first post, think school or mint, start watching these YouTube channels. You'll get amazing idea about what are the current happenings that are present there. At least you'll be able to correlate it, right? And this YouTube channel, uh, which is mainly for UPS aspirants, I'll also give the name after this interview. Go through that channel. Uh, each and every current affair is covered in it. It's more about general awareness, guys. If you have the general awareness, you will definitely crack it. If you don't have general awareness, whatever you wanted to do, you can't crack that. And practice matters a lot. Everyone who is present there, you should write at least 10 watt practices before going to your main practice. Now, how and what you gonna do, it depends on you, right?
So,
Because
my issue is not having enough points to write. I do have end up having points, but the problem is that waiting for the perfect start. That what should be my first statement be, and how should I begin? Should I begin with the quote? Should
understood.
I reframe the topic only? What should be the
Yeah.
perfect heading or like
Start
first
with the
statement?
quote.
That's
Basic. Start with the quote. You'll be able to justify it very well. Or start with the asking question. Every coin has
okay.
two.
Can you give an example of the question part?
Yeah. Let's say every coin has two sides. One of the side is where one wants to see a positive picture of life. Second side tells you